A person who thinks all the time has nothing to think about except thoughts. So, he loses touch with reality and lives in a world of illusions. By thoughts, I mean specifically chatter in the skull, perpetual and compulsive repetition of words, of reckoning and calculating. I'm not saying that thinking is bad. Like everything else, is useful in moderation. A good servant, but a bad master. And all so-called civilized peoples have increasingly become crazy and self-destructive because through excessive thinking they have lost touch with reality. That's to say, we confuse science with the real world.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome to this video that I'm going to be posting today. And I would like to let you know there's some people that you're going to need to really start looking into. Let me fade over here to me here. Hello, how are you doing? And we're going to be doing this on the fly. Granted, I probably should have set this up beforehand, but hey, I've been listening to videos, looking on Twitter, stuff like that, for all the interesting news that you can find. And somebody I've been following for the longest time is Monograph. Monograph he's a techie, telecom, and he's been there for quite some time, so I'd say he knows what he's talking about, and he gets a hold of other people that know, other fields and stuff. They know what they're talking about. They do a bunch of research, and I trust the research because he posts what he finds, so you can look it up yourself. And what we're gonna do here, I'm going to bring up, as you can see, I use TweetDeck for running where I get all my news from, but a video that he just put out today, which, as you can see on my Facebook, I've posted it out because people seriously need to listen to this guy, learns themselves to what's going on. I really do believe that, because of the fact of, I am trying to learn ham radio, and ham radio deals in frequencies. What kind of frequencies are we talking about? In which, if I need to, I could probably bring, well, you know what? I'll bring that up. Let me see if I can find that. Let's go to, I do have this because information, let's see here. Broadcasting. We will go to the amateur radio site and see if they don't have in the book that you can buy to learn how to be operator. If we can't see this lovely spectrum that everybody's talking about when it comes to these frequencies and whatnot. Let's see if we can find technology, public service, our store. Let's see. We will search up. Frequencies. We'll just search that up on this site and see if it'll pop us up anything. Okay. Graphical frequency allocation. There we go. Let's see what this brings up. Hopefully it's a graph. That's what I'm trying to look for here. See if we can't understand our spectrum. Here we go. Look at this. Look at this. We got PDFs galore. All right. We're going to go with this chart here. And see what we get here. Get me off the screen so you guys can see this image here. Oh, desktop. There we go. All right. We will zoom in on this image. All right, now you got your, let's see, you got kilohertz, megahertz. All right, where's our gigahertz at? Let's see if I can't find me another one. Let's see. Let's see, bandwidth chart vertical. Bring up that one, because I know it's in the book. And I want to show you guys. See if we can bring up the, okay, amateur radio bands. Okay, that's the amateur. We're not showing the full spectrum here. Okay, so let's back out of that. Because in the book, like I said, in the book, they talk about, let's see, we'll go back to, all right, we'll back that one up more. They show in the book your spectrum from your, you know, AM radio and that area, even lower than that. Your basically your low wave to high wave frequencies. Let's see. Let's see. Frequency charts. There we go. Let's go with that. Search for frequency charts. Okay. Okay, updated ARL amateur radio frequency charts now available. Let's see, we'll put that in another tab. Let's see if we can't get the full spectrum. See if we can't narrow it down. Let's see what this brings up. Because what was that loading? Come on, load up for me, please. I have Spectrum as my internet, but yet still takes a while. But granted, I got a bunch of tech running, so go figure. All right, plain ARL letter. Okay, the frequency is used in some areas as repeater input. I don't need that one. Okay, nope, I don't need that one. The width. Exposure regulations. Ooh, interesting. We might want to look into that one. All right, let's try another page. Still waiting on that to load. What about this one? Well, if anything, I guess what I'll do while I'm waiting for this to load, since I told you I do have the book, and I think I have it marked maybe. Let me see here. Find that page where it shows me. Okay, that's the same thing as what we were looking at now. Alright, we need... Alright, let me see if I can't find... Because I know if you're in the book... let's see. Okay, nope, that's that. Nope, I don't need that. Alright, well, I guess what I could do, seeing as this is... Alright. Radio spectrum. Alright, let's look at that. How about that? Radio spectrum. That should bring something up, I would imagine. Alright, radio spectrum chart. Search that up. Graphical frequency allocations. Let's see. Okay, spectrum range. Let's see. Open link. Let's check this one. See what that brings us. Hopefully it's a PDF. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Because see, that's what I'm looking at right here in my book. Because all right. Because I'm going to bring myself back up on here. All right. You see this book right here? Everybody needs to go and find this. Whether you are, doesn't matter who you are. You want to learn about what's going on with that 5G, the big O 5.7 that Monty talks about. This right here will help learn you what's going on. And that's what this chart is right here that we're going to be looking at. We will go over here. We'll magnify this so we can hopefully see. All right, let me bring that up just a little bit more. There we go. Hopefully everybody can see that okay. All right, and we're going to scroll down here to where it shows, and as you can see with the chart, all right, there we go. This is basically what we need to look at, is this table right here. You got your low frequencies, or your very low frequencies. You got your low frequencies, your medium frequencies, and then you have your frequencies that your amateur radio operators run on, which is your highs, very high, and ultra high. And then you have your super high and extremely high. And which we're talking about when you're talking, say, and I have it charging right now, but I do have an extra one sitting in here. When you're talking about these little buggers right here, these right here run on a frequency of right about here. You're 3 gigahertz. So you see how it says mobile phone. You're going up to about 3 gigahertz. So that's where your whole 3G comes into play. And then you're talking about up in here, you're super high. So we're talking like this would be your 4G networking right in here. And your 5G, apparently, from what we're being told, is up here in the extremely high frequency. And as anybody who is, looked into or is in the field knows that when you're getting into these frequencies up here, this is microwaves and higher. Like your microwave runs off of, which I really wish. Let me see if I can't find that, and maybe I can just find it by the diagram from inside this book here. See if I can't find the figure, because it states. See if I can't find, because I know it's in here. It tells you that your microwaves are within a certain band of frequencies here. And I'm sorry I didn't prep all this. This is just kind of an on-the-fly thing. So if this video goes a little long, you're definitely going to want to watch all the way through. I promise you. Let's see. Let's say amateur radio. Okay. No, that's not it either. Okay, RF spectrum. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Reading right here within the book. For more information, frequencies above 1 gigahertz are generally considered to be microwaves. You hear that? Microwaves. Microwaves ovens operate at, and this is interesting, 2.4 gigahertz. Anybody know what 2.4 gigahertz, or what else runs on 2.4 gigahertz? Anybody at all? Your routers, your wireless routers, your wireless telephones that you have in your home, that the corded ones. Yeah. And guess what? These little buggers right here, they run on that and higher. Why do you think that these towers, when you go around these towers, they have those warning signs on them? You getting the point here? All right. Ham primarily uses frequencies that are within the MF, your medium frequency, through UHF, your ultra high frequency, and microwave ranges, but have two bands in the low frequency LF ranges as well. So, yeah. Learns you what's going on here. Understand what they're doing. Now, for the ultimate reason of why I'm making this video. Other than, kind of giving you an idea what's going on here with that, so you can understand that, with the frequencies and why people have been talking, they don't want these towers going up, these 5G towers. Now, there's a bunch of videos out there. Go search them up. Go look for them and find this stuff out for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. As if anybody from my era and maybe even older would know the Reading Rainbow, I can't think of the guy's name right now, but if I remember right, that's one of the terms that he used. But what they were talking about is, we'll switch over to, switch over to this one here. I don't want that camera. There we go. Basically, what we're talking about here, I'll take my banner off as well. Don't need to be seeing my banner. I'm sure you don't want to see my banner. Where's my banner? Take the text off. There we go. Yeah. Basically, one of the videos I've been watching with Monograph is a recent one. He has been taking phone calls from people, and one of the people that happened to call in, and actually there was another video. I don't think it was one of his. It was somebody else who posted it. How they were talking about the hospitals and stuff, and how they're basically becoming ghost towns in a sense. Is that what I myself believe is going on here? Is that we're hitting our debt limit in every aspect, hitting our debt limit, and that between the the global debt of the banks and the debt of these different companies, mainly your healthcare providers. How many people have how many times have you went to a hospital and they're fucking booming with business? Sorry for my language, but they're booming with business. They got people coming in and out all the time. And you know how they've been talking about this whole healthcare and, wanting to give universal healthcare. Well, where's this money come from to be able to pay for these people's operations and treatments and all that kind of stuff that supposedly they just go to a pharmacy, and because they're a part of Medicare or whatever kind of thing, they just get it for free, where everybody else like myself, I work at a place where I have to pay for mine, and it's a lovely chunk of change that I have to pay just so I can have coverage, which granted I don't see a doctor, period. The only time I ever go see a doctor is if I am like on death's door. That's the only time I will ever go see a doctor. And because of the fact of like cost, I don't have that kind of money just lying around to be able to pay for, say, $50, $100 whatever visit just to say, oh, you're okay, you're okay. Here, go buy yourself some of this here, and call me in a couple of days, and we'll see what's going, if you're doing any better or not. No. In which, granted, like the last time I went to an ER, those are always the most expensive. My bill was almost $800. Granted, I'll tell you the truth, I never even paid that. They still want that money. Actually, they're wanting, a tenth of that now. But how that affects your credit score and everything, all that kind of stuff. So, but to get to the point here, more or less, you got all this debt, and it's just been piling up. How do you get rid of it? Well, how many people have major debt? Major debt. Your young people, they aren't going to have major debt. Children, they ain't going to have any debt at all. So who's going to have all this debt? People who are in their 60s, 70s, 80s. Especially mainly you're talking about those that are either working to still pay off a home or properties or whatever. Got it up to their eyeballs. School debt. People that got out of school that went into a career, and they're more than likely going to be paying that off for a good however long, even though they got the they're able to make these buku bucks. Granted, you're talking about, I'm sure, a lot of these people that make those buku bucks, what do they possibly do with those buku bucks? They go out and they buy themselves this nice home and cars and all this other luxury type stuff. Because, oh, I make the money. I can do it. My credit's awesome because, whatever. I've been paying my bills and whatnot. So I'm just going to put myself into massive ass, other than being in the massive ass debt that I am from my schooling, I'll just keep on adding to that. But these hospitals, with their now going to do not resuscitate law, almost in some places, where, you bring somebody in, where do you think a lot of these hospitals are getting a lot of their debt? It's from these people who are coming in, who are massively ill, from God knows what. Well, we all kind of know what's up with that one, I'm sure. Just nobody really wants to say anything about it. And how are these hospitals gonna pay for their debts that they have, or from holding these people that they're trying to get it from the families, I'm sure. Get it from the insurance companies, which I don't know the system well enough, but I'm sure there's so much red tape everywhere that how the hell does anything happen? Because you have to, I'm sure that they got it where, like in the hospitals, they state, and I've never seen this because I don't work in that field, but you check the wrong box and it's going to be costing somebody thousands, maybe millions of dollars because they checked the wrong box on their paperwork, and now these people are owed, and I'm like, and the whatever was done shouldn't have costed that much. In which I would imagine, why would they do that? Well, they need to make their money somehow, right? Just like your banks and their fees and all that kind of stuff. And they got these places that that was another thing that was on this video. They were talking about the identity theft and all that kind of stuff and the frauds, and how you can go to any company, doesn't matter who, when it comes to a banking type company, credit cards, you name it. They have their, theft identity things that you can pay $5, $7, $10 for, whatever it is, paying your money to just say, oh, okay, I can stay safe with my identity because I've paid this money, and it supposedly it covers you if any fraudulent activity happens on your account. Yeah, okay, sure. I bet it's just as effective as that insurance that you pay on your car. Pay full coverage on a fucking vehicle. Sorry for my language again, but you kind of angry. Pay your coverage on your vehicle, and you could be paying full coverage, and guess what they'll do? They'll look at look at the vehicle, how much it costs, how many miles are on it, how much it'd be worth now, and there's simple things that you could do to fix your vehicle that it wouldn't cost that much, but in the insurance eyes, because of cost of a vehicle, all that kind of stuff, it's a whole debt cycle. It's a debt cycle. That's all it is that they basically like, oh nope, you got a dinky little dent on your front fender from hitting some animal, and all you have to do is replace that fender, because the rest of the damage already, and maybe say your light. Those are fairly cheap items, I'm quite sure, at least for some people. But nope. There could be frame damage, even though you could have a mechanic look at it and show there's no frame damage. There's all this other kind of stuff. And they're like, nope, we gotta junk your vehicle. It may still run perfectly, just has that physical damage on the outside of it. Nope, we gotta junk it, and you gotta buy yourself a new one. So yeah, Maybe people should start looking into that. Looking into how much debt some of these companies have, other than just banks. Companies have. How much debt do they have? Versus how much money are they bringing in? That right there might actually give you an idea of what's actually going on. For your hospitals, how much debt they're in versus how much money they're actually bringing in to pay their employees. Why? That's another thing right there. I know hospitals around here, like they're doing shifts, weekly shifts, where they shift people back and forth because, 1 week on, 1 week off, because of the fact that they don't have the money to pay their employees that they would have scheduled all week, doing whatever, The state of things are dire right now. And if we can't get things fixed, I'm telling you, it's not going to be a pretty at all. Like I said, follow Monty. I'll post below in the production notes all the links needed for everybody to be able to understand what's going on here. And do your best to stay safe, stay informed. And I'll just cut it off here. If I come up with anything else, make another video. Till then, this is Mr. Wilson saying I'll see you on the flip side.